We're talking about Wichita accents here in the Hugh Hewitt Show because Ty Masterson is the Senate President in the great state of Kansas, and he's from Wichita. And I said, doesn't sound like Mike Pompeo, who also claims Wichita is home. But I guess there is a Wichita accent. And so I'll take your word for it, President Masterson. Let's get to two things. One, as a national Republican, I want you to redistrict your state. What's the situation?
So situation's a little complicated in Kansas because I have a Democrat governor.
Right.
And we have to pass the map just like you pass a bill. We made an attempt to come in for special session in November, which takes a supermajority of the legislature to call itself in. And the Senate had the signatures to come in. The House missed it by just a few. So we're going to have to take it up again in our regular session in January. We'll have no trouble for sure passing a new map with majorities. The question will be, governor's going to she'll veto us, right? And then so we'll have to make an attempt over it. I think the votes
got some
there.
Names for me? We'll start now.
Yeah, well, you'll know.
We'll start now.
We'll probably need that. We'll probably need that because I agree.
Call me up. You can have the whole show. We'll start now.
We got all the cover in the world. Our governor, the chair of the DGA, is out publicly calling on Gavin Newsom to redistrict California. And so I thought, why? That's one thing. I said, we found a point of agreement. She's saying the risk is too high to do nothing. And I said, I agree. The risk is too high to do nothing. Let's do it.
I don't understand the argument when it could come down to one House seat.
It could
come down to being Speaker Johnson with one vote, which means nothing much happens, but it's better than a lot of bad stuff.
And I can't imagine spending 2 more years, having 2 years of just sham impeachments of President Trump and stopping what an incredible agenda.
We'd have not one impeachment. We'd have many impeachment. That's all we do.
Yeah.
And it's terrible television radio. I'm just here to tell you, it's terrible. It's worse than the set I've got behind me, made by my producer, Glenn Patterson. Tell me about property taxes, because I got friends who live in and people are leaving Kansas.
Yeah, we have a bit of a property tax crisis. It's entirely local with some of the complexity being a state lawmaker. We did just last year. We removed the state from the property tax. There was about $90 million the state assessed in property. I thought, put your money where your mouth is, and we got the state out of it. But we're going to have to probably have a constitutional amendment that changes the way that we assess property. But we can do some things like electing appraisers and auditing local budgets. But we pay property tax at the level of a lot of more populated states that have a lot more base than we do.
Former Congressman John Campbell grows cows out there, and so he calls us from his Kansas estate occasionally, and we talk to him about growing cows. And property taxes are an issue, and otherwise Kansas is a very wonderful place to move to. Good schools, if you like basketball, not football. And and do you have school choice yet?
We do not, and that's because I've got a Democrat governor. I've had majorities for my entire time there, but I've not had super majorities, and that's what it would take to get, because my governor is anti-choice, and so it's going to be #1 agenda on my run. We're in the race for governor next year, and we want to have that.
Are you running?
Kansas. I am running.
Oh, very cool.
We announced in the summer.
Who am I ticking off by saying this?
Oh, I don't know. There's
anyone else in the primary?
Oh yeah, there's probably 9.
Go away, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if the Senate president is running, you'll know everyone in the state, right?
Yeah.
How much do you have to raise to win in Kansas?
I mean, it's not like Texas or Florida. I mean, 2 to 5 million. I think 5 million you couldn't be beat. It takes 2 to make a
very liberal Democratic governor running again? she
is termed out. And there have actually 2 members of my Senate, 2 Democrat members of my Senate are right now candidates on the other side. And this is a lot. We have a very late primary. It's not till August.
Oh, that is a nightmare.
Oh, and then you get a 90-day run in the general. It is a nightmare. But I'll tell you what, there is a Trump effect in Kansas. I mean, he's done. It's been so successful for his administration has been so successful that really does make a difference for us in Kansas.
Has he campaigned in Kansas ever? I don't recall him.
He did like 8 years ago. I want to say he came through in the 20. Well, I know he came through in the 2018 time frame.
So if redistricting happened, would it just be a +1?
Yes, Kansas has 4 congressional members, 3 R's and a D.
Are you going to pick up in the next census, or are you going to lose in the next census?
We won't. I don't think we'll lose in the next census, but Kansas is at risk of the next one. We're not growing fast enough in comparison to some of the other states.
No, I know people have left. That's why I said people are
yeah.
leaving, and I know that property taxes are a deal out there.
And I want to get that message out there to people, because Kansas, it's a wonderful place to live and raise a family. But our government's been a disadvantage for us. You got high property taxes, and affordability's been a real issue. I love that that's what we're on. The message that we're on with President Trump is affordability, because that's what Kansas needs to hear.
Well, our buddy, former Congressman Campbell, comes on often. He tried to build houses. It was very, very difficult to build houses in Kansas. Why is that?
There's layers of that too. And I was a home builder. I built houses all through the 90s, clear into 2008, when God taught me some really powerful lessons of what I control and what I don't.
I was a lawyer for developers in 2008. Yeah.
So, but it is Kansas. There are things we can do, and that goes to affordability, right? To get our housing costs down, the government interferes a lot with impact fees and permitting fees that are at an unusually high level compared to some of our neighbors.
Now, is there a Kansas legal defense fund that will go and challenge some of these laws like the Pacific Legal Fund does in California?
Not to the same level, but there are those that will help us out.
And in terms of the state lower house, you'll keep your Senate supermajority? Will
Yes.
you keep your House supermajority?
So that's all up in the air. I think that's why there's a little bit of fear, going into that 26 midterm of doing the redistricting, is because there's some areas of our state that they think that could be negative in. I mean, I think we have to do it. I think every district in Kansas should basically look like Kansas, where everybody has a shot. I'm not a big fan of drawing deep red and deep blue districts, because people get lazy in arguing, what we need to talk about, the issues, whatever it is. You're not able to hone your message. And so I think that there should be a shot in all of them.
I'm a favor of Republicans winning all of them.
Yeah,
that's what I'm in favor
For
of.
the record.
I don't care if they win by 1 vote or 1,000 votes,
Yep.
but I want them all to be run by Republicans, because Kansas, it's Kansas.
It's Kansas.
You had a book written about you 20 years ago, What's Wrong with Kansas?
Yep.
Nothing.
Nothing is wrong.
Nothing
with
is wrong with Kansas.
If we got to stop it, what's wrong with Kansas right now is I have a radical liberal governor. That's what's wrong with Kansas.
What does she run on?
She's never gotten 50%. I mean,
Okay.
you run on the typical kind of national issues, and what happens in Kansas is the Republicans split us up. Some third party will come on, or somebody say this isn't quite, I'm not in love with the Republican candidate, so you run a third party. And so her high water mark was like 49% of the vote, and like 9 counties out of 105.
Well, to my friends in Kansas, home builders get things done. That's been why I've always said Donald Trump is a builder. That's why he gets things done.
Yeah.
All of my clients are, what do I have to be today, in what room, talking to who, in order to get this project approved so it can move forward? They get stuff done.
Well, on that point, we have a kind of a Soros-funded blog that masquerades as the news there. That calls it the fact. They describe me as brutally effective.
Oh, well, that's a good
They
thing.
mean it as a negative. Well, I do. I remind people, when your enemy's calling you brutally effective, I'm feeling pretty Trumpish.
Yeah, there you go. State President Ty Masterson, thank you. State Senate President Ty Masterson, thank you very much. Don't go anywhere, America. Got lots more fun with state legislators coming up. But